Hey guys, Pankaj Raval here. I'm here today to talk about some really important advice that could save you thousands of dollars. All right. So, if you live in the city of LA or if you operate a business in or around the city of LA, you're really going to want to pay attention because this could really save you thousands and thousands of dollars. All right. So, on the website, right here is the city of LA website for the Office of Finance, and here's where you have to actually register for a business license. So we register a business license for our clients all the time. We're based in LA, but one thing we don't realize, and I learned when it came time to file our taxes, is that generally you owe 1% of your gross revenue for your business, minus certain exempt businesses, to the city of LA if you operate in the city of LA. That could be a pretty hefty tax, especially if you're making over $500 million, $500,000 million a year. So I looked into this a little bit because, now we live in a remote world, and it occurred to me, this doesn't make sense. Why should I be paying City of LA taxes if I'm not getting any of the benefits of being in the City of LA? Some argue, there's a lot of drawbacks to it with what's happened recently, but I'm not getting any of the benefits, and yet I still have to pay this 1% gross tax just because I have a virtual address in the city of LA. So my accountants, they told me, oh yeah, you got to pay this. I said, nah, this doesn't make sense. I'm a lawyer. I can read pretty well. Let me look into this a little bit more. So after doing some digging and some analysis here, here's what I found. That there's the business tax classification reference. This is a city clerk's ruling number 15, says that it's the ruling of the city clerk that any person engaging in business subject to this code section shall include in the measure of tax the total gross receipts from work performed in the city. In addition to thereto, if such person owns, leases, or occupies or otherwise maintains within the city a place or premises from which such person engages in business activities outside the city, such person shall include a portion of the gross receipts from the work performed outside the city in the measure of tax. In the absence of substantial information, 20% of gross receipts of work performed outside the city shall be deemed to be that portion subject to tax attributable to business engaged within the city. Now, whether you think that's fair or not, that's another conversation for another day, maybe another video. But this is the rule. So if this is the rule, the question is, okay, let's say now you work remote. Let's say you moved out of the city. You no longer live in LA, but maybe you have an LA address. How much tax do you owe? So my understanding, and this is my understanding. This is not legal advice. This is not tax advice. This is my understanding, and this is something I encourage people to really consider and maybe discuss with their CPAs or accountants. How much should you really owe if you're not doing business in the city and really you just maybe have an address there? So this is something I wanted to bring up to everyone because I think it could save you thousands of dollars in taxes if you think about this and say, okay, thinking critically, how much do I really owe if I'm not doing business here in the city of LA? But yet I have a virtual address or something like that there. How much of your business is actually derived? So in the event that they do ask, and they you do get an audit, do you have something that you could back yourself up on and saying, no, actually, I didn't make a lot of money based on my work in the LA, in the city of LA, and even my contacts with the city of LA are extremely limited. Therefore, my tax should be much lower, and I owe you much less. I hope this was helpful to you. Hit us up if you have any questions. We're not your tax advisor. We're not your lawyer right now. We are just here to provide some information that I think you should consider when you are doing business. This is Pankaj Raval, your virtual GC on TikTok and founder of Carbon Law Group. Best of luck with your business.